the next question is really three questions in one. And we'll start with Ms. Lopez. It's a question that has to do with your opinions on certain social issues. Number one, are you pro-choice? Number two, are you supportive of full marriage equality for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender folks? And three, do you agree with the concealed carry of guns into restaurants and bars?
That's kind of easy. So do I get extra time to talk about other things? Yes, yes, no. Yes, I'm pro-choice, always have been, always will be. Government doesn't need to step into our private lives, period. Number two, the issue on GBLT issues, I support, always have, always will. It's an issue on civil rights, it's an issue on equity, it's an issue that we shouldn't even be discussing, my opinion. And number three, I voted against it. Concealed carry, I voted against concealed carry, just period. I voted against that in any way, shape, or form. Has come up and always will. It's not that I'm against anybody who has, but it's part of our Second Amendment rights in this country. I understand it. But there's certain places I don't believe it needs to be, especially when there's liquor involved. And that's it. Thank you.
Let's see, the questions, I guess you go yes, yes, and I've questioned it quite heavily. When we talk about a woman's choice, that I've always been in the position that it's never a man's decision to tell a woman what to do with her body. It's between her God, and her doctor. So it is definitely pro-choice. And when we talk about myself, I have run in a very conservative district, and I'm the one candidate that has voted again and again to support civil unions. I don't know anybody else here who has run in a district where George Bush has won. And if you want to talk about tea parties, I've seen tea parties for 7 years. There's nothing new to me. And the thing is that I will never change. If I've been running in with this kind of decision and in this kind of district, I will never change on that decision. When it comes to the issue on concealed weapons in bars and restaurants, I'm in that industry, and I've always found that that is a great problem, and you should never mix guns and alcohol at any time. So as far as my positions, those are the three.
I think we're all very aware of these issues. We've been talking about them for a long time, and most Democrats are confounded at the first two. Why is it a discussion? Absolutely pro-choice. Absolutely supportive of gay marriage. No question, unequivocally. It's a civil rights issue, as the senator said. It's about equal protection, and I think in 30 years, people in this country will look back upon this generation and be confounded, as we are, when we look back at the generation that supported racism, segregation, and apartheid right here in the United States of America. The third issue, I'm supportive of concealed carry. I'm not supportive of guns and liquor establishments. I think that, as my colleague has said, that's a no-brainer. Guns and bars shouldn't mix, but I'm definitely supportive of concealed carry in Mexico.
It seems very peculiar to me that here we have 5 candidates, all of whom believe in 3 things that the legislature, majority Democrat, and the governor, a Democrat, have all gone against. I mean, it's very peculiar. Because, you know, we are all for pro-choice, we're all for gay marriage, we're all for domestic partnership, and we're all against, with some qualifications, we're all against concealed carry when you take it into a restaurant that serves liquor. And yet those measures passed, and it wasn't Republicans that passed them. It was Democrats that passed them. And this gets to the issue that I was bringing up at the start of the meeting today. If we lose this election this fall, it's not going to be because the Republicans had better candidates. They don't. Diane Dennis is by far the best prepared candidate we've ever had. And these lieutenant governor candidates are far better than the Republicans running for those same positions. If we lose it, it's because the Democrats have created an atmosphere out there in which they're indistinguishable from Republicans. Who knows the difference in the legislature between some of our senators who carry the label Democrat and those who carry the label Republican. They vote exactly the same on all these issues. They vote against choice, they vote against gay marriage, and they vote for carrying concealed weapons. Guys, we've got to get the progressive wing animated, and that's not the way to do it. We're not going to have people saying Democrats really stand up for people and their individual rights. They stand up for the protection of the poor. They stand up against corporate power. If we always wind up having to say, well, the Democratic legislature voted against gay marriage again, or a domestic partnership, or against pro-choice. Let's make the Democratic Party, let's reclaim the Democratic Party for the progressive issues that it always has held. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. When you work for me, you didn't forget about me then. Let me just say this. Yes, on both of those issues, the two issues. But let me just say one other thing about this issue about benefits. When I was in the city of Albuquerque back in the early 90s, I implemented administratively benefits for domestic partners without having to have the legislature or my friends in the Democratic Party tell me that that was the right thing or the wrong thing to do, because I knew even at that point that it was the right thing to do. So when we talk about things that we're talking about the legislature, what they've done, not done, I've done some of those things in my career. This issue of concealed carry in liquor establishments, it really is a no-brainer. We ought not be having weapons brought into liquor establishments. I support concealed carry, but I don't support them in liquor establishments. But let me just say one other thing about this issue that Jerry just talked about. My friends, it's about leadership. We have 3 legislators, 3 good Democrat legislators running for office. If we can't get the issues that are important to Democrats to the legislature, then what does that say about all of us? We need to work together. Bringing people together is what I've done through my course of my career. And that means working with your colleagues in the legislature and the executive to come up with a plan and a way to get things done. And that's what leadership's about. That's what I'm about.
Thank you.